Republic FC is committed to providing a fan experience that is enjoyable and respectful of the diverse audience that attends. Our staff will proactively intervene when the following inappropriate or offensive behavior affects the entertainment experience or safety of our fans. Abusive language or obscene gestures, including derogatory comments directed towards a person's gender, race, or appearance, fighting, taunting, or threatening remarks or gestures, throwing objects of any kind, unauthorized entrance on the playing field or restricted areas, intoxication, or other signs of impairment. If a guest interferes with the enjoyment of the match, please contact a guest service representative or assistant. Fans found in violation of Republic FC Code of Conduct face ejection from the event, as well as potential bans from future stadium events. Individuals in violation of the Code of Conduct will receive a letter notifying Emperor of their violation and a warning that their behavior may result in future ejections or disciplinary action. Thank you and enjoy the match.
Aficionados de Republic FC, US Bank presenta la alineación de esta noche para el club.
One of Mexico's most successful clubs comes to California's capital for an international friendly. Thank you for joining us this evening. Alongside Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Robbie Callister. UC Davis Health brings you this matchup between CF Pachuca and the Sacramento Republic. Well, Kevin, it's not too often a CONCACAF champion makes a stop here at Papa Murphy's Park. But tonight, the Republic have a chance to show what they can do against a team that won one of the top tournaments in the world. It's such a treat tonight to see one of the best clubs from all of CONCACAF. And those unfamiliar with CONCACAF, CONCACAF makes up all the teams in North America, Central America, as well as the Caribbean. And tonight, we get a chance to see a top club from one of the best leagues in the world. It's going to be a fun one. Well, Liga MX, exciting league, we no doubt about that. And what I really like about this, Kevin, is it really enhances the reputation for Sacramento in terms of soccer. You not only have clubs here that have come around the country starting to play here on friendlies, but now we're getting them around the world, and you've got to feel like it's really entertaining, the thought that Sacramento is a place to be. Yeah, not to mention a great chance for our Republic players to prove themselves against one of these teams. Well, let's talk about those key players that we'll be watching here tonight. We're going to see at Pachuca's Pablo Lopez, 20 appearances over the last year, but Kevin, the big story tonight, Roberto Hadagan, 16-year-old academy signing, making his first ever start for the Republic. And the youngest player ever to start for Sacramento Republic, and what a night to have your debut against Pachuca, a world-class club. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can do and what he can do against grown men tonight. Well, it's going to be a great match. It's Pachuca, it's the Republic, and it's right here on the CW 31.
There's a place that brings together teams of world-class problem solvers. Here, they save lives at a moment's notice, restore sight to those who otherwise would not see, empower those facing immobility to live active lives. Through teamwork and bold innovation, they confront the toughest medical challenges to make the world a healthier place. UC Davis Health System.
Murphy's Law, you get what you pay for. Papa Murphy's Law says when a pizza is made right in front of you with ridiculous fresh ingredients, you'll always get more than you pay for. Murphy's Law of questionable quality. Papa Murphy's Law of questionable value. Right, home, large, thin, or thin meat. $. Papa Murphy's.
Energy connects us to our communities, to each other. As your community-owned electric service, SMUD is committed to clean energy and technology that's good for the environment. That's why we're championing electric vehicles. We're providing a rebate and discounted charging rate when you purchase or lease a new plug-in electric vehicle. Let's connect energy, transportation, and our community. Learn more at smud.org/drive-electric.
Días de lo bueno.
Bethany, ¿por qué estás aquí?
He regresado.
Te dije que nunca volvieras.
Sí, pero he regresado.
What's going on here?
Bethany Ken always wanted to be in a telenovela, but they don't speak Spanish.
So we have to interpret for them when Good Day is over.
That's kind of weird.
Watch Good Day in Spanish using the SAP function on your TV.
Que nunca volvieras.
Sí, pero he regresado.
Hi, my name is Daljit Bogle. Ask me about my Honda. I'm an Indian wedding coordinator, and my Honda Fit is very fuel efficient, very low maintenance, has a hatchback, so it can fit in wedding supplies for a ceremony or a reception, and it's very reliable.
It would be really horrible if my car was less than reliable. There would be a lot of brides crying.
Looking for a small car you can trust on those really big days? To see Daljit's story and get a fabulous deal on a versatile Fit, go to your Northern California Honda dealer's Facebook page.
Welcome back inside Papa Murphy's Park here. Let's take a look at our U.S. Bank starting lineups. We begin with Pachuca here and Oscar Perez, the 44-year-old from Mexico, in the box tonight. What a treat, Kevin.
What a treat. 44-year-old goalkeeper in the box. One of the most storied goalkeepers in all of Mexico. It'll be fun to watch him, and what a treat for everyone here in the crowd and on TV to see this guy play.
56 men's national team appearances for Team Mexico over his career. Let's take a look. The Sacramento Republic now. A couple of newcomers in there. We talked about Hadegan. He'll be in the starting 11 along with Harrison Heath in that 4-1-1.
I got a feeling you're going to see a lot of Harrison Heath here for the next few months here in Sacramento. So he had a good debut a week or so, or 2 weeks ago. Tonight's a great chance for him to come in here, really try to solidify himself in the lineup.
Well, our technical director and manager for Pachuca is Diego Alonso, the 42-year-old striker, former striker, I should say, played in Argentina, Spain, and Mexico, and he took over Pachuca in 2014, has a pretty good run of form in the last 3 seasons with that top club from Liga MX. Meanwhile, Paul Buckle, technical director and head coach in his 3rd season with the Sacramento Republic, and talking with Paul, he said this is not a friendly for his club. This is a game where they're going to go out and they want to get a win here tonight.
Yeah, and it kind of falls in a good time really for Sacramento to have a friendly where you haven't had a game last week, had a bye week. Now's a chance for your squad to come out. And really, I mean, you're not talking about resting players at this point in time. You need players actually to play games. You need them to stay fit. You need them to stay match fit's really the word you need to think about here. And also, you have another 8 days until your next game. So go give your starting guys, go give your squad a good run. Everyone can put in a good shift tonight. You don't got to worry about saving anything in the reserves. Put it all out there and get a good shift in tonight.
Not your 8 days until the next match for the Republic against the Sounders 2 next Sunday. Our captains here tonight is Oscar Perez, as we mentioned, and Emra Clemente, who scored his 2nd goal in the season in the draw against San Antonio a week and plus ago. So let's take a look here now at the referee. We have Joseph Dickerson in here tonight, familiar face for Sacramento, and he'll be joined by Andrew Hanks, Chris Elliott, and Victor Rivas is our 4th official tonight. Sacramento will be wearing the Old Glory red. Meanwhile, for Pachuca, they'll be in their home white and blue shorts.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's been a fun atmosphere so far walking up here. You see all the Pachuca fans. You see a little bit of a different dynamic happening here in the crowd, a different energy starting early, typically don't see for the USL matches. So it's going to be fun tonight, and I hope it's going to be loud and have a boisterous crowd. But really, it's a different atmosphere, which is a fun thing.
Not necessarily a home match for Sacramento here tonight. A lot of Pachuca jerseys. We saw a lot of the fans line up along the fences. Pachuca was coming in, seeking autographs and pictures. It's a great atmosphere.
It's the Central Valley. Central Valley is so ripe and a lot of a large fan base for Liga MX. And here comes a club tonight, Pachuca, a storied club that has had great success over the last couple of years. And you see the fan base here tonight, and it proves and shows how much success they've had. And really, in this region, Mexican and Liga MX is massive.
Well, and here's a chance for Sacramento to show what they can do in terms of Republic, as this is for the first match for a lot of these fans here at Pachuca to come to Papa Murphy's Park, check out the product, and say, you know what, here's not only a chance for Pachuca to continue, reaching out with their fans here north of the border,
right?
But for Sacramento, it's a great opportunity to get the Republic fans engaged.
Exactly. We open up a new demographic, a new fan base, really, with these games, and I think this is so big for the city of Sacramento and the soccer community and the region as a whole to have these clubs come in here. And it really puts Sacramento on a map, on a different map than we typically are on. And it's not that we need to prove anything. It's just really showing everybody what is here and what's transpired over the last few years. And I'm telling you, these games, the reach that these games have on the world is a different level. So these games are really big for a Sacramento, club like Sacramento, where it exposes a lot of people to the brand, to the city, to the community, to the region. So all good things from these games. And at the end of the day, the best part about it, we get to watch a fun game here tonight. Against a club like Pachuca, we get the Republic in an important part in their season right now. So, I mean, there's a lot of storylines here. And also, the brand and the exposure is massive.
It's going to be a great match, high-flying. Sacramento better come out and ready to play here tonight, because these guys from down south, they know how to fly. They're going to be pressing high. 4-4-2, they really switch into a 4-3-3. You'll see a lot of attacking out on the wings. It's going to be a fun, high-flying match for both teams here. Sacramento's going to head to the south end of the field. Pachuca will head to the north end toward the Tower Bridge Battalion. While we have a chance here, let's take a look at tonight's UC Davis Health Injury Report. Follow UC Davis for the latest news and events, photos and health tips. Find them on Twitter. Devastating news. Danny Barrera going to be out for 3 months after the stress fracture in his foot. But good news, we did see Adam Moffat taking some laps here in pregame, getting ready to go. So we might see Adam Moffat sooner then later, which would be a great sign. We'll talk more about Danny Barrera's injury, but we are about to get underway here between Pachuca and Sacramento. If you're just joining us alongside former MLS veteran Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister from the fans down south of the border online. For those here in Sacramento on the CWN, we welcome you in here to Papa Murphy's Park on a 96-degree evening, and here we go. It is the 4-1-1 for Sacramento, and Nisha and Blackwood up top pressuring quickly. And here's Herrera. Some of the younger players playing for Pachuca as well, and as the ball out of play, gives a chance for our Chevy keys to the match.
Keys to the match today. First and foremost, Sacramento needs to keep the ball. You're playing against a really skillful side in Pachuca, so if you're going to turn the ball over a lot, you're going to be chasing all evening. So also the next thing, you got to press together. When you don't have the ball, you can't go in 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. The whole unit has to shift together and press together. If you start pressing in 1s, 2s, and 3s, and all of a sudden they're going to skin you alive, and you're going to be chasing the entire game again, and it's going to lead to a very, very long night. And finally, win second balls. These games, I always felt like when you win the second balls, win that match, win that battle, those individual battles in the second balls, it's one of those little things that doesn't necessarily require a great skill, but it requires knowledge and requires you being on your front studs and thinking ahead. If you can win that second ball battle, it allows you to retain possession a lot more, which therefore leads to you chasing a lot less. So those are the three things I want to see Sacramento do tonight. If they can do these three things, I think it's going to be a competitive game.
So yeah, Pachuca, they're going to make you pay. You mistake deep in that attacking third in your own quarter of the field here, it's going to be problems for Sacramento tonight. So how key will Emmer Clemente, Jeremy Hall, and Chris Christian be to the success? Limiting mistakes, you got to feel like will give Sacramento an opportunity to win this match. Yeah, I mean, limiting mistakes in any match is important, but especially when you're playing against a skillful side like Pachuca, where they're just waiting, biding their time, and then when you do make the mistake, that's where you really see the quality from players and teams, is when they can capitalize offside here, when they can capitalize on those mistakes and really push forward. I mean, that's a differentiator between, you know, a good player to a great player and a good team to a great team. So I think Pachuca's got that level and got that ability. So you have to limit those mistakes and don't have any catastrophic mistakes in the back. And I think Emra, Jeremy, and Chris Christian will be key tonight to make sure that they limit these mistakes and also communicate with everybody. That's the biggest thing in these games, I always feel like, too, where you got to talk and you've got to let everyone know. Over communicate, never hurt anybody. Got a good crowd pouring in here tonight against a Pachuca team from Liga MX. Their final tune-up before they take on, looks like Pumas here coming up in about a week from now as we waited that play to develop. So they'll take on Pumas in a week from now. So this is their final tune-up as they make this tour around the United States. They played OKC to a scoreless draw a couple of nights ago. They ended up winning it on penalty kicks 3-1. But they're getting ready for their season here. They finished 10th in the Clausura in the first part of this year, so they're looking to rebound and get back on track. But what a run they had in CONCACAF. I mean, this Pachuca side has shown the world that this is continues to be one of the most successful clubs in Liga MX.
No, they've been doing it for 6, 7, 8, 9 years now in CONCACAF. Actually, when I was playing in Houston, we went down to Pachuca and CONCACAF Cup. I think it ended up being like 4 to 5 games. It was a great experience playing down there in Mexico.
Guzman coughs it up. Here's a chance. DTS finding Blackwood along the left side. Knee shot falling along is Hadagan as well. And Blackwood coughs it up as Victor Guzman able to get to it. See how quickly are they with that first touch. And Sacramento having to adjust here early, Kevin, to the pace of play from Pachuca as they move forward again along the midfield. And look at James Kiffey. I mean, you're seeing a lot of Sacramento guys coming clearly out of their positions that they're used to playing. Robert Herrera, 28-year from Uruguay, central center back for Pachuca here. Ball lofted up at the top, and here's Elliot Horde, who has been solid all season long. And how about the job Elliot Horde and James Kiffey did against San Antonio, against two of the top strikers in USL, and they have continued to see that performance week in and week out, and it's got to be a breath of fresh air for Paul Buckle.
Yeah, the great thing that I like about Elliot is you know what you're going to get every week. He doesn't have the highs and lows like a lot of players. It's a good little entry pass here.
Here's Guzman's going to turn, looking to send a cross in. Elliott Horde gets to it. Blackwood with a heavy touch will pop it high as he didn't have much room to breathe. And they continue to battle it out, and it will be a foul on Blackwood, so Pachuca will pick it up. It's Eric Aguirre.
Going back to Elliott, you know what? It's such a hard thing to find, I think, in a lot of players is consistency, and Elliott provides that. You know, he's not going to go out there and give you a, you know, just flying up and down the flank, getting 6-7 crosses in a half. But he's going to get up and down that right flank 2 or 3 times a half, get good balls in the box. You know what you're going to get. He's dependable. He's serviceable. There's a good chance here.
Here's Hadagon, a little too heavy of a touch. Over the top and tumbling down, the whistle is blown. Hadagon looking for the foul. Won't get it as Murillo goes down hard, and he's slow to get up.
That's a tough challenge. Hadagon's got, he does what he needs to do right there. I do feel that's probably a foul on Hadagon. You see that often, and it can kind of go both ways often where referees don't necessarily have that thing dialed in, but you see right there Hadagon just kind of holds his ground, and Murillo just goes over the top.
And Murillo was loaned to the Colorado Rapids in 2010, but never appeared in a match. Here's this, originally from Colombia, but is making a home in Liga MX, and a push from Elliott Horde. Easy call there as Pablo Lopez will pick up a foul. A good free kick here for Pachuca, and a great situation for a club early that is very good in these situations, as they'll defensively, they'll let you set up for free kick. They feel they're very good defending them. They also feel like they're very good offensively at scoring.
Yeah, I got good quality on the ball. But going back to that set piece, this is kind of interesting that I think a lot of fans should kind of pay attention to. You got, you know, different leagues have different little nuances to them. And I think the Mexican League, Liga MX, it's kind of a ticky-tacky league where, guys, if you're getting touched, if you're getting pushed, a lot of players.
Here's Cano, lofts it high. Good chance for the Pachuca.
It's a good ball in and a good effort there.
And the Tuzos not able to do it as Angelo Segal gets ahead to it, but just missed it wide. And you hear some of the rumblings from the Pachuca fans.
Yeah, it's a good ball in the box. You see Segal just get up right here and just try to redirect it in the far post. Not trying to do too much with it, not trying to put too much power on it, just redirect it in that far post, and it just misses Evan Newton's far post. But going back to like what we were talking about with different leagues and different nuances with each league, which was interesting as a player. You go and play in every different country you can imagine, and every league's got a little bit of a different nuance to it. The MLS has a different nuance to it, where it's, you know, it's hard nose, high energy, high work rate. USL is probably pretty similar to that. The Mexican league, a lot of technique, a lot of technical ability by every player. Don't like to be touched. They don't like to be pushed. And when they do get pushed, pulled, touched, and moved, they go down often. So those sort of plays defensively, this is what I always thought, defensively, especially playing against Mexican clubs and Central American clubs, you're not going to be able to get away with the pushes and the pulls that you typically would against another MLS side or another Canadian side, because those players are going to fight through it. But these Mexican players, they don't want to be touched. So they stop, and you'll see, we saw that on that set piece right there, just a little bit of a touch, and they embellish it a little bit. Nothing wrong with it. It's part of the game. But it's always fun seeing the different countries and the different style of plays that come from those countries, and each one's a little bit different, have their own flair, their own flavor. It's always fun kind of figuring that stuff out.
Well, we saw the EPL teams like Newcastle and Sunderland come to Sacramento. We saw the Republic play a little bit differently after those matches. They pick up some of the tricks that we're seeing, so we'll see whether or not Republic can take advantage of here. Good ball to Wilson Nisha here, looking turned around, trying to get past Herrera. He's deep into the box. Here's a chance for Keems Kiffy. Ricochet, pops up, still a chance, and Oscar Perez comes out to play it out of his box.
Good build-up by Sacramento. It's a good chance for Kiffy on his left foot. You know, finds himself not very often inside the 18-yard box with the ball at his feet, putting his head up looking for a strike, but does a good job, gets it out to his left foot.
Well, more people means more fun. Groups of 11 or more receive special prizing opportunities, including a photo on the field and meeting Republic FC players. Learn more at sacrepublicfc.com. No score here early after 9 minutes of play. Pachuca with the one early chance with Segal on a set piece. Missed it wide of Newton. So we remain scoreless here, but Sacramento chasing a lot more, Kevin. We're seeing them move, and typically against San Antonio, they were the aggressors. It's a different opportunity for this club. See how they can play, see if they can spring something forward. We thought we'd see more of this against Real Salt Lake, and it was Sacramento came out the aggressors. So how can Sacramento respond against one of the top clubs in Liga MX in Pachuca? Pachuca making their second appearance in Sacramento. Here's a cross set in, trying to get behind Christian. Christian heads to it, lays it for Kiffy. Kiffy coming up and showing a burst of speed here. Wilson Nisha with him.
It's well done. That's well done by James Kiffy, relieving the pressure. Kind of a cool head on his shoulders right there. Maybe tired legs right there with that pass back to Christian, but still a good effort there by James Kiffy, relieving the pressure from the back line.
So I want to say this is Pachuca's second appearance here. They came here in 2015. It was a 3-1 victory over Sunderland. Same year as Sacramento played Sunderland and picked up the win. And there's a hard foul on Emmanuel Garcia. And going down hard to his head is Roberto Hadagan. And a very similar play, and Hadagan may have taken a slight elbow to the back of the head. He'll rub it off, and it appears to be okay.
So there's a good example right there. Roberto Hadagan dealing with playing against men. I mean, that play isn't necessarily happening in his academy days, but that's a good example. How can he wear that? How can he deal with that pressure? It's a good ball.
Over the top, Elliot Horde volleys it down. Back to his left foot. Small ricochet here, chance for Blackwood. Almost want Blackwood to have another touch and see if he can get something closer.
But going back to Hatagan there in that situation, I think, you get some young players come into these situations sometimes and they get a challenge like that, for example, and they kind of tend to maybe, hide a little bit, become more reserved. But from what we've seen from Hatagan in training sessions, what we've heard about him, the kid does not lack his confidence. So maybe that's something I think what I'd like to see is how he responds here the next 10, 15 minutes from a challenge like that. Don't imagine he's going to hide from the challenge or hide from other challenges, and kind of really step up, and maybe that wakes them up a little bit to know, like, hey, we're in for a battle tonight. Now I know what's going on. This is what the challenges are going to feel like. I'm up walking again. Didn't kill me. Let's go out there and try to connect some passes and get myself involved in the attack.
Ball over the top. Segal looking for goal. Cuts back in, falls down to the box, won't get the call. Crowd oohs and ahs. Jeremy Hall's got it. Can Sacramento spring something the other way?
How quick Pachuca's getting back. Got 6 behind the ball already on that. That was a pretty quick little breakout by Sacramento, so good job by Pachuca working their lines and getting back in and getting their shoulders right, which I love to see.
Harrison Heath, I get it, makes him pay for it. Now he's moving forward.
Great ball.
Trying to dump it off to the right side. This is where they're good and dangerous. Back cross looking in, and Segal was the target. It was Elliot Horde who got ahead to it, and Elliot Horde was able to track it down. Now here's Hadagan. Now Hadagan, we have seen from him some, as you said, no lack of confidence here. He's been aggressive here early. Here's a guy who had 20 goals in the academy over the last 2 seasons, the U14 and the U16 season. Here he is, just 16 years of age, Kevin. What's it like to make a debut for such a young kid when he doesn't even have his driver's license yet?
I could never relate to this experience that he's having here tonight. My debut was probably 22 years old. But still, what a wonderful time to have your debut against a club like Pachuca here on a great night, a good atmosphere. I mean, these are memorable moments for any player. Your debut, you'll never forget for whatever club it is. And here it is tonight. It's happening. And hopefully 10 years from now when he's 26, which is kind of crazy to say, in 10 years he's going to be 26 years old. But hopefully he can look back on this still wearing a Republic jersey and remember this moment as the night that kind of started and catapulted his career into professional soccer. So here's a great a fun night and a great thing to be a part of, Rob, to see this debut of a 16-year-old, the youngest player in Sacramento history to start a match for him. Let's see how he can assimilate here into the game right now and start connecting with his teammates and make an impact.
Well, with Danny Barrera out with that stress fracture for 3 months, the position's open there on the wing. Who will take it? And this is a tryout in a sense to see who can fill the shoes of Danny Barrera, who has played his best really form of soccer that we've seen from him. And since he's really come to the Republic, as soon as he took over for really Rodrigo Lopez in that position, it's been the Danny Barrera show in the midfield. It's going to be a huge, devastating loss for Sacramento. Talking to Paul Buckle, and he said, you know, it's going to be one of those chances where he feels terrible for Danny because he's been playing so well, and he's so crucial to this team's success, creating chances. He said, this gives other guys some opportunity to step up. And he said, we need that. We have the bench to do it. I think we have the players to do it. So he just wants to know who's that guy.
Yeah, and really, I mean, that's an optimistic coach talking, an optimistic manager right there. You can look at it 2 ways. You can talk about how devastating it is to lose a player of Danny Barrera's caliber and quality. But also you can talk about, what it really means. Great ball by Hatagan.
Here's Hatagan. Blackwood. Heavy touch. Aguirre gets it back. Mario, a little bit of trouble. Pachuca now.
Great first touch.
Looking to move forward. Segal. From Lopez, looking for Segal again. Tracking back will be Evan Newton as Segal picks it up along the line. Heavy, hard cross. Falling along that backside, and so Pachuca can't make use of it. And now it's going to be the turn of Wilson Nisha.
But really, for Danny Barrera, losing him, it affords an opportunity for a lot of players to come out here and prove yourself that you do belong, and who's going to step up. But you are missing a big piece, by the way. I mean, the amount of chances Danny Barrera creates for the team leads the team in that category. So who's going to step up? Who's going to step up and fill those shoes? It's going to be a tough task, but I like Paul's mentality on it. It's, as the optimistic manager, I love to hear that. It's a great opportunity for somebody. You can't live in the past. It is what it is. Danny's going to be gone for a couple weeks or a couple months. Let's find someone quickly to fill those shoes.
Nike, an official sponsor, Sacramento Republic FC. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Will it be Daniel Chickett-Smith? Will it be Roberto Hadagan? Augie Caceres nursing a little bit of a leg issue. They hope to have him back next week. It will be Harrison Heath in that role.
I mean, they're thin in the midfield right now. So, I mean, fortunately for Graham Smith and Paul Buckle, they got Harrison Heath in here, a quality player that can step in immediately in the midfield.
Well, they look pretty brilliant making the move now, don't they? Everyone thought, well, why would you add? Well, that's exactly the reason why you tend to add reinforcement. Here, good combination from Pachuca. Up strong is Emra Clementa as Lopez working in the corner along the byline, keeps it in play. Low cross sent in. Christian steps up, gets a boot to it. And Sacramento Republic, good defensively here early on.
See the quality there by Pablo Lopez as Emmerich comes flying in way too aggressively there, looking to just make a challenge to tackle.
Cano to the right side, dumps it off. Shaggy down low, looking up to go over the top with it. And here's Hadagan. Deep in his own third, he's tripped up and the whistle blows.
Like to see that from Hata again there, the confidence. And you get a talking to by Emmerich, see him come flying in on that challenge from Pablo Lopez. Pablo does a great job, just wears the pressure or senses the pressure and is able to use it to his advantage, which I love to see from players. You see, that step, that aggressive step by a defender. When you have a quality player on the ball like Pablo Lopez, he's able to sense that pressure coming and use it to his advantage as he does there. Fortunately, the cross just wasn't there for him.
When you see for Sacramento offensively, Kevin, it's been a little bit of a struggle how dominant they have been, scoring 12 goals in the last 4 USL matches, allowing 6 on the other side. They've been able to get through balls in the middle. Pachuca's spraying them out wide. They're really pushing them, trying to force them to do, cross the ball in, something we saw a lot from Republic early on. So how does Sacramento counteract that?
I mean, really what Sacramento needs to do, they need to control the ball. They need to keep the ball. And if they are unable to do so, then they're going to be playing a defensive chasing game, which we've seen a little bit. So when they do get the ball, they need to move the ball quickly, 1 and 2 touch, get it through the midfield, get it to maybe a checking Tyler Blackwood or a Wilson Nisha, bounce it back, bounce it wide, get your overlaps going. I mean, it's nothing new. It's nothing like rocket science for these guys. They do it day in and day out. Just a matter, can they do it against a quality like Pachuca?
Here's Garcia, cross set down and low. Good chance for Pachuca here. Remember Clementa clearing.
It's another offside. There's 2 in a row there, but Wilson Nisha needs to be a little bit more.
How was he offside? Herrera was 6 steps behind him, or in front of him. That was an early call from Andrew Hanks. Either way, it's Pachuca's possession here. Victor Guzman over the ball. 21-year-old from Mexico. Scored a PK against OKC a couple of evenings ago. That game went to PKs after a brilliant performance by C.J. Cochran. 13 saves, Kevin. Watching the film on that, Pachuca should have won 5-0. It was an unbelievable performance, maybe the best performance we've seen from a USL keeper all season long.
Yeah, standing on his head that match.
Good combination here to the left side, Angelo Segal. Elliot Horde again. Defensively, he's been perfect tonight.
No, I can't preach enough how consistent he is. And I think, in my opinion, how vital that is for any manager, any coach to have someone dependable or as dependable as Elliot Horde's been over the last year.
Physical play, Jeremy Hall, and Jeremy Hall is going to complain just to that to Joseph Dickerson.
But going back to my point earlier, I mean, this is an example right there where typically that play, I think, by Jeremy Hall might not necessarily lead to someone going down in league play, but in these matches, these players, Garcia, I mean, they sense the pressure, they feel the pressure, they know when the foul's going to be called. And, you know, but I think the Mexican League gets a pretty bad rap. That might have been Guzman. Get a bad rap for diving and rolling around and everything. But hey, tell you what, it's part of the game. Get used to it. Use it to your advantage.
Here's Figueroa. Bouncing ball. Good chance, and it's been the back of the net. Pachuca strikes first, and it was a beautiful combination here on a set piece. And Figueroa lofted it in. And what a strike from Pachuca as that comes in the 21st minute.
Tell you what, wonderful ball in. And that is a difficult ball to hit, coming across your body, hitting it with your laces. It's so easy to mistime that, hit it off your shin and hit off your toe. But he catches it perfectly, so cleanly with that right foot and puts it in the back of the net. Guzman, wonderful strike, great ball over the top. You know, when he served the ball in initially, Garcia wasn't a fan of it being lofted in like that, but does a wonderful job, finds that back post, and Sacramento need to figure it out right there. There's no way a guy like Guzman should be left that wide open on that back post, but a wonderful strike into Evan Newton's goal, putting Pachuca up 1-0.
Evan Newton averaging a goal against in this 2017 season for Sacramento. That's a tough one there on a set piece. Emmer Clement showing some work here. Blackwood quickly to Horde, almost a too quickly. That one's sent hard into the stands by Emmanuel Garcia. So Victor Guzman, who spent his youth career with Guadalajara, was loaned out to Pachuca last season, and then he was officially bought by the club here heading into 2017. Making good there, the 21-year-old trying to prove himself into the starting 11 as this season starts in Liga MX just a week from today. USL, one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent, rising stars. Stay up to date all season long. Visit USLsoccer.com, Twitter @USL. Here's Daniel Trickett-Smith, notes Hadegan. Hadegan's been very busy. There's DTS. Like to see more Daniel Trickett-Smith on the ball here tonight. Could be deadly. Looking for Nisha. Nisha in that 4-1-1 playing the top. Without Trevin Caesar, how much do you miss his pace here this evening?
You do. I think even Trevin Caesar just being an outlet, that's a great ball and a great delayed run.
As Newton comes up.
You know, the success I think Sacramento's had has been a big part of Trevin Caesar up top, just relieving pressure and allowing guys when, like, for example, when Emmer Clement or Chris Christian get the ball and they just peek their head up, you got that peel-off run into the channel by the pace by Trevin Caesar, and it turns that like a simple clearance or a simple dump into the final third or into into space. It turns into such a positive play with the pace of Trevin Caesar, and I want to see that from tonight from both Blackwood as well as Nisha, but they haven't been able to connect yet with the back four or with the two center backs when the ball's at their feet.
Combination with Nisha and Caesar up top, with playing right for them in that 4-diamond-2 with Blackwood there. But without Danny Barrera now, we've now seen Paul Buckle go to this 4-4-2 in this match. Will that be a thing to come in the next USL match, or we'll have to wait and see? But at this point in time, Paul's starting to tinker a little bit because obviously you've lost Danny Barrera.
Well, he's been tinkering all year, to be honest. I mean, finally found that 4-diamond-1 or 4-diamond-2. And that's had some pretty good success from that in the last 2 months. But now with the injury, it kind of forces his hand a little bit. Great little run here.
Here's Martinez on pace, looking to get in the box, sending a low cross in. Stepping up is Clemente, is Joaquin Martinez down to the turf, but now he's looking to recover. From behind Kiffy. Kiffy just getting away. Here's Trickett-Smith. Blackwood calling for it, peeling off. Sacramento just can't find space here in this attacking third. Wilson Nisha looking to dump it off to DTS. Trickett-Smith looking to turn around the byline, goes down in the box, no whistle blown, and it'll be a goal kick for Pachuca.
Yeah, that might have been. I think DTS has a legit shout here for a penalty. It could have been called really easily as well. Probably incidental contact, really not on purpose. Contact nonetheless there, and DTS goes down.
And we're going to have a hydration break here. That we're 25 minutes in. The temperature started game time at 96 degrees. And without that Delta breeze here tonight, it has been a warm one here. Pachuca scoring first on a set piece in the 21st minute. It was Figueroa who sent it in, and Guzman just left uncovered and sent it to the back of the net. A beautiful strike.
A wonderful
strike. So Pachuca able to get one here early against the Republic, and that is where we stand here. Kevin, we've not talked about maybe Pachuca's top player, at least in terms of U.S. side of things. Omar Gonzalez, former LA Galaxy star, has made the move to Pachuca, and then here he is now starting the U.S. men's national team, the Gold Cup roster. Got a goal the other night. U.S. men's national team winning again today. They win their pool Gold Cup. So I mean, without Omar Gonzalez, this team's even deadlier than what we're seeing out here tonight.
No, I mean, and Omar had a great career down in LA for 5-6 years and then moves down to Mexico. I mean, a pretty lucrative deal for Omar and for the Galaxy. And Omar's done nothing but impress down in Mexico and continues to impress. And here he is, has a chance, really. I mean, this is the Gold Cup squad. It's not necessarily probably the U.S.'s A team, so to speak, but still, this is a beautiful, wonderful opportunity for any player down there to really make a case for the World Cup coming up here in Russia. So we had a great chance for Omar. I think Omar's got some talent and ability. But one of those guys, I think, me personally, what I look at is his consistency. Can he play as well as he can play game in and game out? But the talent and the ability by Omar is great. And great, I mean, another American player playing in a world-class league, it shows what the U.S. is doing right now. We need more of them, and they're coming. But Omar's a good example and a good case of what American players can do.
Well, and there was the question posed to him during the Gold Cup was, you know, about his choice to go and play in Liga MX. And he said, you know, after signing that deal with Los Angeles, it seemed like he wouldn't be going anywhere.
It's a huge surprise when he left.
And then there was an opportunity to go to Pachuca, and they worked out a deal. And so there he ended up. And, you know, he said for his family, he was a little bit older and it was a little different. He said, you know, LA had everything to offer. It was, you know, probably safer for his family, but he just felt this was an opportunity he couldn't pass up. And he said for him professionally, this is just something that he felt like he needed to do. And I think it's worked out pretty well for him. And worked out pretty well for Pachuca as well.
Yeah, and kind of following the script a little bit too of Hercules Gomez, who went down there. And Hercules, what a wonderful story by him. Coming into the league, kind of bouncing around a couple of clubs, a couple of different leagues, makes himself, goes down to Mexico. I think he gets waived by an MLS team, goes down to Mexico, and all of a sudden he's scoring, you know, 10, 15 goals a season. And leads to a big, long career down in Mexico. Finishes up in Seattle last year, gets himself an MLS Cup, the third one for him, actually. But another example of American players playing down in Liga MX. Well, one of the few, one of the many.
Well, we're back into play here as Martinez. Pachuca continuing to put the pressure on Sacramento here tonight. Aguirre dumped it off the left side to Garcia. Garcia's been very active along that left side as they try to test Elliot Horde, but Elliot Horde has been simply up to the task here in the middle of Segal. Sacramento will take that turnover here. James Kiffey. And this is the one thing you don't see in the USL. How about the pressure coming all the way back in their own attacking third, Kevin? It shows the pace and the confidence of Pachuca. Sacramento's not used to seeing something like that.
Well, yeah, no, in Pachuca, they're known for pressing pretty high and pressing often. Pretty successful tactic, but it's one of those kind of like you live by the sword in those situations where if you're not all going together and you're pressing, that means, you know, 6 of the 7 guys that are pressing are expending a lot of energy. And if it doesn't all work together as a unit, you are using very, very vital energy for naught, as it becomes pretty easy to break. But I mean, I tell you what, Pachuca's done a really good job and kind of like really mastered that press to try to win the ball in that attacking third.
Oscar Perez is yet to be tested here tonight.
Look at that move.
Guzman making a move, already has a goal here tonight. Good, another shot on goal, saved by Evan Newton. It's Cano with a good strike from his left foot. The Argentinian just couldn't get it past Evan Newton.
It's great contact there by Cano. Uses the instep on his left foot. Evan Newton just positions himself about as best as he could. This is a good strike, about a foot or two off the ground. I think Cano's going to be regretful on that one, as he would probably would have liked to tuck it in the corner. elects for power right there, but Evan Newton answers. Evan Newton answers the call, is able to make the save. It's a good save by Evan Newton. A great little turn by Cano right there, just quick. Kind of a striker's little position right there. That's what you really see successful strikers able to get that shot off within a half a second, really. And be able to put it on target with some pace like he does right there.
Since he was loaned from Medellin, he came over to Pachuca in 2016, making 43 appearances. He has been a key part of that attacking 11 for this Pachuca side. Moving forward here, get a good chance to break. Dumping it off. Here's Cano again. Pachuca's footwork on the ball is something to marvel at as well. Here's Figueroa. Good chance here. Tyler Blackwood. Can he keep it in play along the touchline? Keeps it. Trying to get past Garcia now. Good recovery from Garcia. And in the middle of the park, here's Hadagan. Hadagan looking to squeeze it into DTS. Good idea, just wasn't there. And those are the type of plays, Kevin, you feel like Hadagan's on the pitch a little bit longer. You're going to start connecting some of those. It's going to be some great opportunities for Sacramento.
Exactly. Once you start to really kind of learn the ins and outs of each of your teammates, and that comes with time. You know, learn the mannerisms. Learn what players what they like to do in the situation. An in-step pass, they can play for weight or use their laces, play into space or not. That just comes with time and learning your teammates and what they like to do and don't like to do.
Segal, Guzman, and Garcia built a nice little triangle here on that left side. Here's Guzman again. Playing the Mexico's U20 and U23 teams. Guzman in the middle of the park here. He's got a little bit of space. Going to dump it back off. Here's Segal again. Segal with a strong left foot. Hops into the arms of Evan Newton. Well, for our fans at home, you can follow live stats and more via Twitter. The club's Twitter handle of Sac Republic FC or hashtag SACVPAC. Warm night in Sacramento. Temperatures in the 90s. The state fair going on as well. 50th state fair, Kevin. You gonna get yourself a corn dog here in the next couple of weeks?
I'm gonna get as much fried food as possible.
See if we can get a dish up for you tonight. This played by DTS, keeps it in play along the touchline, working his way into the 18. Good move here, recovering well is Figueroa and able to break up that attack from Sacramento as they look to be on the attack here, and now they're moving to spring it the other way. Elliott Horn misplays it. Good chance for Segal. Segal one-on-one. Segal just sprays it wide. Good job by Evan Newton to come make himself big, but a misplayed by Elliott Horn. A rare one at that, and Segal nearly made it 2-0.
Yeah, Elliott Horn's thanking his lucky stars right there. Just misclears the ball, just gets a little touch on it, sends Segal in, and Segal opens his hips up for that left foot. Looks like it takes just a little bit of a bad bounce right there. So fortunate for Elliott Horn right there, as well as Mr. Newton as that ball sails wide.
3 good chances for Pachuca tonight. They've converted on 1, and that was a set piece in the 21st minute. Figueroa finding Guzman with a clean header, and that's the difference in this one here. Sacramento has had some opportunity along this right side with Garcia moving forward. Here's an opportunity for Horde, and well defended again. Emmanuel Garcia. And Manny, who played with Veracruz for 62 appearances before coming over to Pachuca. Also plays the midfield as well. A very versatile player for Diego Alonso.
Tough ball there.
Jeremy Hall. So with Danny Barrera out, Emra Clemente becomes the captain of this team. But you could make a case Jeremy Hall and some others are just as crucial as captains as well. And I think Paul has probably a good problem here in the fact that he's got a lot of leaders in this locker room. Bad giveaway here. Cano. Cano is tripped up front behind. Hadagan doesn't like it, and that's what you're talking about, Kevin. They just seem to go down a little easy, and for Joseph Dickerson, seems to be falling for it, at least blowing the whistle.
Yeah, I think, you know, Hatagan there definitely gets a little clip, and it's not a bad foul. Looks like Cano is actually gearing up to have a strike there. As a quick turnover, you typically see your goalkeepers maybe a little bit far off the line. We saw it with Rodrigo Lopez a couple years ago when he, you know, clipped one from 50, 60 yards. It's a goalkeeper was kind of caught sleeping. So decent foul, no worries there. Probably goes down a little soft. but stops the play nonetheless.
I think if you're Paul Buckle, you're going to be okay with a lot of those fouls.
Totally.
To slow down a little bit of that momentum. Evan Newton's got to come up, make a play on it. Sacramento's 2-7-2 all time in regular season friendlies. The win's coming against Sunderland and Liverpool U21s. Can they make it 3 here tonight? They'll have to dig themselves out of a hole. Lost a couple of times to Atlas from Liga MX.
Great touch.
But probably a more suitable club here tonight in Pachuca. Pachuca on the run again. Backpedaling come the Republic. Can they get another stop? Ball checks high, pops over the bar. And we may have a corner kick coming up, our first Chick-fil-A corner kick of the evening. All the corner kicks this match between Pachuca and Sacramento. It's brought to you by Chick-fil-A. And it'll be specialist Tony Figueroa, the 18-year-old from Mexico, with an assist already tonight. Lost this one high back of the net. Harrison Heath gets to it, trying to spring forward was Nisha. And now Daniel Trickett-Smith making a run here. At the feet, Figueroa again, working back in. So deadly with that left foot, dropped it off. Would have been offside. And so Pachuca will just let it play away. And Sacramento with a goal kick coming up here 36 minutes in. Each month, Republic FC releases an online magazine for fans to enjoy called IMN. This month's issue includes a feature on the international clubs that have played at Papa Murphy's Park. It's an exclusive story in Spanish that talks about the ties between our Hispanic community and the beautiful game. Nearly a bad giveaway by Sacramento here. If you would like to check out the next issue, make sure you go to sacrepublicfc.com. Wilson Nisha goes down and a whistle is blown, and a rare foul for Pachuca tonight. Looking for DT, or excuse me, for Hadagan, looking for Wilson Nisha. DTS now tracking, putting some pressure on. Republic trying to give Pachuca a little bit of their own medicine here. Keeps it along the touchline. Beautiful ball here. Harrison Heath goes down hard. And the whistle blows. Just the 4th foul tonight, if that goes against Pachuca. And it will. Sacramento a 1-1 draw against San Antonio to bring their first half of the season to a close. But for Sacramento, Kevin, they're still in the hunt of things, but there's been a pretty big separation as RSL now, or Real Monarchs I should say, now has 43 points compared to Sacramento's 25.
Yeah, I mean, they're running away with it right now. Salt Lake is.
San Antonio's just trying to keep pace. Good touch here from Clementa, trying to find Horde as it runs out of play. Tulsa currently in 8th place in the USL Western Conference standings with 22 points. Quick touch here. Here can Sacramento get an opportunity. Lofted high, nobody home. Those are the type plays, Kevin. You got to feel like you got to get a shot on goal.
Well, yeah, I mean, what we're seeing right now too is that what we've noticed here, or at least I've noticed the last few times, Sacramento's been able to get in that attacking third and get the ball wide. Still, 1 or 2 bodies in there making runs. It's not necessarily what we've seen over the last like 6, 7, 8 games for Sacramento, where they're putting 6 guys in the box or 5 guys in the box on those crosses. So they need to have more bodies up there, but it's also a product of guys chasing. You use your energy defensively, and you get a bit too tired or heavy-legged to want to, take that chance to get forward and believe that the ball's going to come to you. I think there's a great example right there. If we get another chance to look at it, see Harrison Heath just standing on top of the box. If he makes that run, a little 10-yard run, if that, he probably finds himself in a good position. He's onside.
Well, here's Sacramento. Wilson Nisha onside. Not much space here. Can he create it for himself? Trying to work his way into the box. Good defending by Robert Herrera.
Yeah, good defending by Pachuca. Just circling down 3 defenders. Looks like Martinez, Herrera, maybe even Murillo as well, associated in that situation.
And you've seen Pachuca do such a nice job of that. They're pressing high. They're getting opportunities, but those back 3, letting Garcia come up, have defended very well for Pachuca tonight, not giving Sacramento much to work with.
And just swarmed Wilson Nisha right there. Don't even let him think about getting his head up. Great little touch right there.
Good move by Hadagan.
Good ball.
DTS along that left side, looking to send across, and here's Harrison Heath, just flubs it. Couldn't get a good boot on it, and a missed opportunity by Sacramento again.
Yeah, That's a good opportunity for Sacramento. Would have taken something special really to beat Perez from there, but still you'd like to see him get a clean strike on it.
Well, here's Segal now, and Pachuca working to get another goal, and they do. It's Cano this time.
See how quick it happens? I mean, that's literally 4 seconds after Sacramento's got probably their best chance of the match so far. And also we talk about the last 5 minutes of every half. And here we are right now in the 40th minute, conceding right here. And that's Pachuca just doing a really good job on the counterattack, breaking forward, playing the ball wide, cutting in, finding a great little run. Segal to Cano. And Cano just pulls it right across the face of Evan Newton. And slots it in the back of the net. What a finish there and what a build-up. It's a quick little shout out there for Evan Ream once again.
From the Davis Enterprise.
But Evan Newton can't really do anything about that right there.
Well, and that's devastating, Kevin. You felt like the build-up was pretty good for Sacramento. They were getting some opportunities.
Right, it's their best chance of the game really so far. And you get, I mean, and 4 seconds, literally 4 seconds. That's how quick things happen. If you don't mind your back and make sure you're organized. But also, that's the quality of Pachuca. You give them chances, they're going to take them.
Well, we've talked about the pace in the pregame, and they're showing it here. This ball's lofted in. Perez has come out and make a play for one of the rare times this evening as the 44-year-old, known as the Rabbit, oldest player in Liga MX, has had a lot of standing around to do today as Sacramento just can't get a good shot on goal. Give a lot of credit to Pachuca's back line as they have made things difficult for Blackwood and Nisha here tonight, but 2 really big chances that fell for Sacramento. A ball and a cross from Horde where there was no one there, and then Heath there on that last play. You've got to find some kind of opportunity if you're going to get yourself back into this match. They're down 2 goals now.
It kind of under the radar too, where you think that you're having a good little break, you're having a good run of form, a good momentum, a good couple minutes. Sacramento does, and a quick little counterattack by Pachuca, and you see the quality right there. As you see, this is just kind of ridiculous.
And
it's Hatagan.
Hatagan having a little word as well, and Dickinson has to separate Guzman and Hatagan.
So Hatagan comes in maybe a little bit late, but still, Guzman's taking just probably a little bit too much offense to this challenge. Hatagan's going in, probably no real ill will in that challenge, just simply working hard. Hatagan is. Guzman's not too happy about it.
So the 16-year-old making his debut here against Pachuca. What a show here for Hatagan to start his professional career on. One of the top clubs in Liga MX, winning the CONCACAF championship here recently. Well, they didn't finish well in the Clausura in the last go-around. They did win in 2016, beating Tigres. But they're looking for a rebound year here in the falls. Their season begins in about a week against Pumas. How does Sacramento respond here, Kevin? That's going to be the big question here in the final moments of this first half.
I mean, they got to figure out a way to respond.
Good chance here again. A shot on goal. Evan Newton down to his right has taken a big strike at it. It's going to be Figueroa, who has been deadly tonight.
I think
already with an assist.
Newton right there going down to his right, probably just being a little bit safer than he needs to be. Could have probably seen that out for a goal kick, but still rather be safe than sorry as Newton goes down to his right. Not the best strike by Figueroa, but still tests Evan Newton.
Ball sent in, outward.
It's a free header. I mean, that's not the answer you want to see Sacramento come up with.
Look how quickly Pachuca sprints back even on the set
look
piece.
at Cano, just still kind of being a bit of a pest, slowing things down. Gets called for a foul, no big deal. Stop the counterattack. I mean, I think that's a smart play there by Cano, being a little bit of a pest, which is fine. Slows the counterattack down, doing the little things. I love seeing strikers do that stuff.
Well, in the Republic, on the brink of a little bit of frustration here, Kevin. You got to feel like it's a smart play by Pachuca to get them completely out of this match. As the 2-0 advantage is not over quite yet. Sacramento has played better here in the last 10 minutes or so, but gave up that goal as Segal and Cano combining. Tuesdays at the State Fair means Kids Day presented by Wells Fargo.
Great ball.
Here is Wilson Nisha, just outside the 18. Who's following with him? Blackwood making a run. Back heel for Horde. So all kids get free admission and rides for just $2. Republic FC will be a part of Kids Day by hosting an open training at Pop Murphy's Park. An opportunity afterwards for kids to kick on goal and meet some players. Check republicfc.com for more details. And so our fourth official has indicated 3 minutes of Gilmore Services stoppage time. When you need a dependable Sacramento HVAC company, trust Gilmore Heating and Air. A warm night in Sacramento. The fans have used just about any paper product they can use to cool themselves down here tonight. It's supposed to be 106 tomorrow. No Delta breeze in sight. The flags are still along the pole. That is one of those evenings you don't see very often here when the Republic play. Usually that breeze kicks up by around this time. It's a beautiful evening. Tonight a little bit muggy. Pachuca probably used to playing in this, especially here as their next season gets going here.
A little bit muggy, Mr. McAllister. It's downright steamy. I feel like I'm in a sauna right now.
Back in Houston, aren't you? A little push off from Horde, his last touch by Sacramento. Well, the Apertura, which begins in summer, and the Clausura, which begins in January. Technically, they do 2 seasons with a season, which they count almost like the NBA, which starts in the end of summer and trails into winter break. And the Clausura starts in January. Here's Martinez along that right touchline. Looking for a teammate, finds Aguirre. Aguirre right back to Martinez. Martinez with a good chance, send a cross in. Ping-ponging around with a pinball. Beautiful footwork in the box by Guzman. Cleared away by Sacramento. Another chance for Pachuca. Dumps it off.
Really fun build-up by Pachuca. Let's see if Sacramento can break.
Here's a counter, an opportunity along that left side. Knee shot, peeling off. DTS. Can he switch it? He does, getting it to Blackwood just a little bit behind him.
It's just not a good ball. He's got to be driven. It's way too high in the air. Maybe why skip out Hotz again there?
How about Pachuca? When you make a mistake, they make you pay for it.
Absolutely, and a great little build-up there on the right side. Good overlap play with a great ball played in. Let's see if DTS, see if he can do something productive here.
See if they can do it again. Just inside, gets tripped up, and it'll be just outside of the 18-yard box, and we're going to have a pretty good chance for Sacramento here, Kevin. Can they rebound here and get something on the board before we head into the break?
Yeah, we just talked about see if DTS can do something productive. Get another look right here. So he just cuts into his right foot, just gets clipped a little bit, goes down pretty soft, but still, that situation, you always, you're thinking about that set piece. But we've talked about this before, Rob, where you're right on top of the 18-yard box, where it becomes a bit tricky, where technique and finesse.
And you can see Hadagon and DTS explaining and going over things. These are type of game situations that you're seeing for the very first time between these two players. You have Emra Clementa nearby as well.
So this, if you're going to go over the wall, it's got to be soft and delicate, or you can try to hammer this to the far post with a little bit of curl with that right foot.
DTS sends it up high, and it just misses.
It's a decent effort by DTS right there. It's hard to get that ball up over the wall and down under the crossbar in that short a distance, but he does a good job. Daniel Trickett-Smith right there just misses. Good effort nonetheless.
Tries to give the crowd something before they head to the locker room. They try to cool down a little bit here, see if Sacramento can get back on track here the next 45 minutes of play. A very strong half by the visiting CF Pachuca. What can Sacramento do after the break as they trail 2-0? Figueroa with a great assist to Guzman, and then Segal to Cano. And that is the difference here after 45 minutes of play. And a steamy night in Sacramento. We'll have your halftime show coming up. Don't go away.
At U.S. Bank, we believe one small change can echo throughout an entire community. That's why we proudly support, invest, and volunteer in communities like yours. Because the changes we make today
Can you hear me?
shape the possibilities of tomorrow. U.S. Bank, the power of possible.
You each drive a Ford pickup, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you a next generation pickup.
Awesome. Let's do this.
The bed is made of high-strength steel, which is less susceptible to punctures than aluminum.
The stronger, the better.
And best of all, this new truck is actually the current Chevy Silverado.
It's the Chevy Summer Drive. Get 17% below MSRP on all Silverado 1500 LT pickups. That's over $8,200 on this Chevy Silverado. See your greater Sacramento area Chevy dealers.
Murphy's Law says you, get what you pay for. Papa Murphy's Law says when a pizza is made right in front of you with ridiculously fresh ingredients, you'll always get more than you pay for. Murphy's Law of questionable quality. Papa Murphy's Law of unquestionable value. Tonight, home bake a large thin crust veggie or thin crust meat. Just $8. Papa Murphy's.
Energy connects us to our communities, to each other. As your community-owned electric service, SMUD is committed to clean energy and technology that's good for the environment. That's why we're championing electric vehicles. We're providing a rebate and discounted charging rate when you purchase or lease a new plug-in electric vehicle. Let's connect energy, transportation, and our community. Learn more at smud.org/drive-electric.
It's the 50th anniversary of the California State Fair, and it's happening just behind Papa Murphy's Park here tonight. A festive atmosphere here tonight. A lot of CF Pachuca fans, a lot of Republic fans in the house here tonight, nearly 11,000 strong, and a warm evening in Sacramento. And let's take a look first at our NorCal Honda halftime highlights here, and it's been all Pachuca, the visiting side from Liga MX, showing their prowess early here, aggressive early on. They've shown the pace, and they've shown that they can really make you pay when you do make a mistake out there.
Yeah, and then obviously off the set piece, kind of a soft foul outside the box, but a great little set piece, lofted into the back post, and a wonderful finish by Guzman with the right foot out of the air, catches it very, very nicely, cleanly with that right foot, puts it in the back of the net.
And that was the 21st minutes of Sacramento down early, but they would continue to fight on as they had opportunity after opportunity, just could not convert through. And so Sacramento would find themselves just looking for a good chance here in that first 45 minutes of play. For about 25 to 35 minutes, they really started to dominate the game a little bit, and then things fell apart.
And you probably get one of your better chances of the game, and Harrison, he just misses the ball, misses his strike. And as quick as that happens, Pachuca's right back down Sacramento's throat with a wonderful little combination play between Segal and Cano just slots the ball in the back post, right in front of Newton's face, across his face, off the back post and in for the second goal. And once again, we talked about it, Rob, that's another goal within the last 5 minutes of the half. So it's so difficult to concede. You always want to be obviously on the other end of that spectrum where you're scoring the goals in the last 5 minutes, but Sacramento need to be able to figure out a way to lock things down a little better as the half is expiring.
And so for the Republic, you saw the sharpness wasn't there. You've also seen a little bit of different lineup. Without Danny Barrera, without Travis Caesar, you feel like there's a little bit of a difference with this club. That may be a big section of this club that's been working, or a big section of the play on the field that's been working, may have been just taken out, and how do you replace that? It's going to be a big question for Paul Buck.
No, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys respond and react as a whole and as a unit on what they can do and who's going to be the guy that's going to be creating chances for Sacramento and putting people in good situations and making players around them better.
Well, let's take a look at our first half stats here. And we'll take a look. We know the 2 goals there by Pachuca.
Another one of these things. You got the shots by Pachuca. Obviously, Pachuca leading that category, and really possession. I think Pachuca's done a really good job of controlling the pace of play here and having them run up the majority of play.
So 9 shots compared to just 3 for Sacramento. And I think the big story in the first half, you have Roberto Haragan, not played very well for coming in against one of the best teams in Liga MX. And then you have him making his debut on the ball pretty good early on. Saw some physical play as well. But the other side of that story is Sacramento just not able to give themselves a good chance and get a good strike on goal.
Yeah, not able to really kind of figure out a way to build out of the back. Most likely, you know, the second half, I wonder what the conversation is going to be about, but maybe it's a conversation like, let's sit back and we'll go. When we get the ball, let's go. Let's try to spring counterattacks on these guys.
Well, don't go away. We've got a nice feature coming up where Evan Newton, Agassi Caceres took part in a great thing with the UC Davis Children's Hospital and some of the Tuzos players as well. We'll have that coming up next right here on the CW 31.
This is your RAM Auto Update.
It's the Roseville Auto Mall Factory Certified Sales Event going on now.
Great service, great cars, everything about them is amazing.
A sale like this means incredible savings on just about every kind of car in the world.
I found exactly what I wanted.
There's a huge selection with great pricing and exceptional financing.
I got a super deal. Both cars were great, and they run awesome, and the deal was terrific.
You'll enjoy the perfection of a factory certified vehicle at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
Once a year, we get together and experience the best moments in life. Moms and dads hold hands and hold babies. First dates last for hours. Strollers become sleepers. Screaming begins on a ride and ends with an encore. The best days of summer are back. July 14th to the 30th. The California State Fair. Live in the moment.
For centuries, few have been brave enough to face the Riptide. Until now. Golfland Sunsplash is home to Riptide, the 6-story raft ride everyone's talking about, with an adrenaline rush of thrills, chills, and fun. Don't miss Riptide, along with the 6-story freefall on Double Dare, plus Thunder Falls, Master Blaster, and Storm Rider. That's over 30 rides and attractions for the whole family, only at Golfland Sunsplash in Roseville. Get your online savings today at golfland.com.
Look who just moved in. Introducing the new Midnight Edition with aggressive blacked-out alloy wheels, spoilers, outside mirrors, and more. Take on the mainstream in Nissan's Midnight Edition. 6 models, 4 colors. 4th of July bonus cash has been extended. Get an additional $1,000 on select models, or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2017 Rogue.
You each drive a Ford pickup, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you a next-generation pickup.
Awesome. Let's do this.
The bed is made of high-strength steel, which is less susceptible to punctures than aluminum.
The stronger, the better.
And best of all, this new truck is actually the current Chevy Silverado.
It's the Chevy Summer Drive. Get 17% below MSRP on all Silverado 1500 LT pickups. That's over $8,200 on this Chevy Silverado. See your greater Sacramento area Chevy dealers.
Pachuca Republic here in an international friendly at Papa Murphy's Park alongside Kevin Goldthwait. I'm Rob McAllister. We continue on the halftime show. Well, I'd like to tell you on Thursday, Evan Newton and Augie Caceres joined members of Pachuca for a visit to UC Davis Children's Hospital. Pachuca players joined Evan and Augie, including midfielder Angelo Segal, defender Jose Joaquin Equivaldo Martinez, forward Francisco Antonio Figueira, and Juan Calero, German Cano, and many others. And this really isn't the first time that we've seen this. Where international clubs have visited UC Davis Children's Hospital in the past. We've seen West Brom players, Kevin. I know you were a part of that. We've seen Liga MX players come out, USA rugby players as well. And what a great opportunity for these kids.
I mean, a great opportunity for the kids. And it's one of these things, as a player, we were able to do the when West Brom was in town, and then in my career too, doing it every once in a while. such a little thing to just go out and just kind of maybe break the day up or break the week up for some of these kids that you know, they're living in the hospital and really, really tough situation and circumstances. So hopefully, if anything, it's just a change of pace for those kids for the day, for the afternoon, to brighten things up a little bit, see something different. And I hope it goes a long way. It's a great partnership with UC Davis to put that on and to coordinate that.
Now the players took photos with the kids, along with the CONCACAF trophy as well. They do have that here on hand tonight as well. But for many patients, these visits really help lift their spirits, Kevin. I know, as you said, for the families, it's a nice break for them for all the treatment and tests these kids are going through. Republic players, and they're regulars here. I mean, how many times did we see Evan Newton this year out at Children's Hospital, the UC Davis Children's Hospital, making a difference there? And with a partnership between UC Davis and Sacramento continues to be one of those amazing partnerships to show that Sacramento really is a great place to live, work, and play, and make this a healthier place, and that everyone in this community really is a member of the Republic. It's a great opportunity for these kids, and I'm sure a lot of the players get a lot of this out of this too.
No, it really is. I mean, it's sometimes a lot of kids or a lot of people have a tough time doing it, but it's a great thing to do for the kids, just to break things up and to lift some spirits, even if it's just for an afternoon.
Well, we've got a great match here. I know some of the kids are at this match here tonight as well. The halftime show continues, and then we'll have the second half coming up. And here in just a few moments, it's Sacramento, it's Pachuca, and the visitors with a 2-0 advantage.
There's a place that brings together teams of world-class problem solvers. Here, they save lives at a moment's notice, restore sight to those who otherwise would not see, empower those facing immobility to live active lives. Through teamwork and bold innovation, they confront the toughest medical challenges to make the world a healthier place. UC Davis Health System.
Días de lo bueno.
Bethany, ¿por qué estás aquí?
He regresado.
Te dije que nunca volvieras.
Sí, pero he regresado.
What's going on here?
Bethany Ken always wanted to be in a telenovela, but they don't speak Spanish.
So we have to interpret for them when Good Day is over.
That's kind of weird.
Watch Good Day in Spanish using the SAP function on your TV.
Que nunca volvieras.
Sí, pero he regresado.
Here we are, our eyes wide open. We see the road ahead. We're part of something bigger. We're the dreamers, the heroes, the ones who change our communities, build our cities, are passionate about compassion. There are more like you here than unlike you. So take hold and see yourself in the present. See that vision unfold among others. Redefine the possible. Redefine you.
If you like hot dogs but hamburgers too, Wiener Schnitzel's new burgers are just for you. We've got burgers, 4 different burgers. Yay!
We kind of always had them, but they're way better now.
New burgers, new burgers,
Slay.
our new flavors.
What?
Our new burgers are made the Wiener Schnitzel way. That means they're good. Wiener Schnitzel's burgers are better than ever. Whether you're craving barbecue bacon or blazing guac, our 4 burgers are a mouthful of yum. Only at Wiener Schnitzel.
You each drive a Ford pickup, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you a next generation pickup.
Awesome. Let's do this.
The bed is made of high-strength steel, which is less susceptible to punctures than aluminum.
The stronger, the better.
And best of all, this new truck is actually the current Chevy Silverado.
It's the Chevy Summer Drive. Get 17% below MSRP on all Silverado 1500 LT pickups. That's over $8,200 on this Chevy Silverado. See your greater Sacramento area Chevy dealers.
Welcome back inside Papa Murphy's Park alongside Kevin Goldthwait. I'm Rob McAllister. Let's take a look at what's coming up for the Sacramento Republic. The next 4 of their 5 matches are at home right here at Papa Murphy's Park in USL play. And Kevin, when you look at who's on the schedule here, Swope Park, Reno, the only 2 of those teams above them in the standings. The next 3 teams are below them in the standings. So great chance for Sacramento to pick up some points, keep themselves in the hunt.
Yeah, if you look at the next 3 games, It's a good opportunity if you're, really looking forward to see what the playoff picture is going to look like. It's a good opportunity for Sacramento to gain some traction and get some points, hopefully. It's there on paper. Just got to go pick it up.
7 to 9 points, I think, would be a very successful next 3 matches for Sacramento. Let's take a look at our current standings here as we talk about Real Monarchs running away with it, 43 points. San Antonio right behind them at 36, but Swope Park at 32, which Sacramento will see in 5 weeks. And then Reno and Sacramento lockstep. Rio Grande Valley. Phoenix, how about, though, making a serious run with Didier Drogba.
Yeah, Didier coming in, scoring some goals in stoppage time for him, and simply just getting points and bringing seats or bottoms into the seats as well for Phoenix.
Well, Phoenix has done a nice job. Phoenix rising this year. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference, and brought to you by these standings is brought to you by Life Storage. Charleston Battery, 35 points on the year. Charlotte right behind him there, and it's been a pretty similar story in the East as those two teams are really starting to dominate and run away with it on their end. So it should be an exciting second half of play now, as the season, I should say, for a lot of these teams fighting for position. Where will Sacramento end up? And as we know, it doesn't always matter where you end up at the regular season.
It's how you're
going and going.
It's how you're trending. Which way you trending, north or south?
And so for Sacramento right now in this game, Kevin, they're trending a little bit behind. Let's review your Chevy keys to the match, as I know this club has had expectations of coming in here winning this match, but they're going to have to do a lot of things against a very good Pachuca squad.
Yeah, keys to the match. We talked about the first one, keeping the ball. I think Sacramento needs to do a better job here in the second half. Can they press together better? They probably can. So want to see that be kind of ticked up a little bit and win the second balls. That's another one. I don't think they've done a very good job of winning those second balls. And like I said earlier in the first half, that's a simple thing to do, just being on your front studs and thinking ahead and thinking quickly to get that ball and quickly to try to retain possession.
All right, we're going to check out substitutions here in these friendlies. It's a little difficult in terms of who's made some changes. We do know the Republic have made some changes. So it's Christian Cheney, Sammy Ochoa up top, Harry Williams, Harrison Heath, Jeremy Hall, Gabe Gissy in the midfield, and then Dominic Jokubek goes in as goalkeeper. Now, talking to Paul Buckle, he was going to split the goalkeepers at the half regardless. So each were going to play 45 minutes tonight. So it's no indication the 2 goals or the way that Evan Newton played tonight. And just a couple of great goals, and really not all of Evan Newton's fault. 2 guys left really wide open to make something happen.
I mean, I agree, and I think also you see this kind of a little bit of a line change in the midfield and the front too, as it's just been kind of anemic. Sacramento's been here in the first half. So hopefully this is a bit of a shot in the arm, something different that Pachuca is going to have to deal with and figure out here in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the second half with different personnel being in there. But really kind of a line change for Sacramento, as there's nothing going on for Sac in that first half offensively.
Quick touch from Guzman, trying to find a cross here now is Pachuca as it sails through the feet of Chris Christian, and now here to Elliot Horde it goes. Excuse me, that's James Kiffey. And it's Aguirre up to the top, Lopez here. And so Roberto Hadagan, his night is over, so his first 45 minutes in the books, and he is replaced by Gabe Gissy, who previously held the record for the youngest player to appear in a match at 17 years of age. And so Gabe Gissy now out on that right wing. See what Gissy can do as some of these guys get some playing time here. Good chance for Pachuca from distance. And Dominic Jokubek will watch it sail over. So the 4-4-2 back for Sacramento, Kevin. We're not really seeing that diamond formation yet, but I've liked the energy we've seen from number 9, Harry Williams, coming right out of the gate.
Yeah, good energy, and I think that's what Harry's always going to bring, regardless of how he's playing, how his form is.
So good at shielding the ball is Sammy Ochoa. What can he bring here in the next 45?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day right now, what he can bring, what Christian Cheney can bring, what Harry Williams can bring, or Gabe Gissy that coming in, like one of them's got to step up and be able to be effective going forward and make chances and create chances for Sacramento. So Sammy Ochoa definitely brings that back to goal, hold up striker mentality, but he needs people to run off underneath him and make runs off of him to capitalize on that hold-up play. That's got to come from your Gabe Gissy. It's got to come from your Harry Williams, and maybe your Jeremy Hall with a late delayed run, or Harrison Heath as well.
Giving chase is Aguirre here.
So I can't pin what someone can do for Sacramento on one person. It's got to be the group in the front to come out here today and work together to try to get something positive going for Sacramento and get some chances on goal.
Sammy Ochoa Born in Mexico, going against one of the top teams from his home country. To the left side, Kiffy keeping it down low. Martinez able to get to it. And Pachuca again looking to counter. So no substitutions for Pachuca at the break here. And it should remind you that there are no limitations on how many substitutions you can have other than who's on the 18 here tonight. But Oscar Perez, the 44-year-old, remains in the box for Pachuca. Los Tuzos, as they're affectionately known as, which translates to pretty much the Gophers or the Moles here. Dangerous ball back from Jeremy Hall, and this could be trouble. A shot on goal. Big save from Dominic Jakubek as winding up to try to make something happen with one more time Victor Guzman, and a great save from Dominic Jakubek.
Makes amends there for his error on that entry pass. Comes out, makes himself big, actually collects the ball nicely.
Here's Gissy showing some pace here. Breaking free, good touch here, working his way into the box, gets past another defender, low cross, sent in, too close along the byline. Cheney can't get to it, but a great run there from the youngster Gabe Gissy, just 20 years of age, showing his pace.
Yeah, good job by Gissy there. Talk about these guys coming in, making an impact and figuring things out going forward to get chances on goal. Gissy does a good job running through Pachuca's back line.
Well, if you're someone like Gissy or Cheney, what do you have to lose at this point in time?
All right, go out there, make an impact, take chances.
Trying to poke it through. Aguirre trying to get to it. Jakubek gets first. Now Jakubek with a quick outlet. Christian Cheney, another youngster, 22 years of age from Fresno, California. And we've seen Cheney come in, and Paul Buckle likes the potential of Christian Cheney. He's just hoping he can put it all together and make something happen in a match. Bad giveaways here plaguing the Republic. Guzman on the ball. Looking to make something happen again. Guzman into the 18, winding up off the back of Hall. Another chance, a ricochet and a dangerous ball nonetheless as it sails away, and Republic able to catch a breath of fresh air here.
Yeah, the ball bounces nicely to Aguirre. So Aguirre winds up with that right foot with his laces, strikes it, just pulls it a little bit. Still pretty good clean contact with it. Good strike, good technique by Aguirre.
Aguirre, a very versatile player, can also play right back for this club in the midfield. He's moved up here tonight. Joined Pachuca last year. Here's Christian Cheney being pushed off. You talked about the physicality. There's Oscar Murillo, who's been very physical tonight. Cheney able to win it back. Cheney looking for a big swing. Sacramento remains control here with Elliot Horde. Elliot Horde just looking for some breathing room. Gabe Gissy now. Just like swarming bees this Pachuca team is.
I see the physicality too there a minute ago from Christian Cheney. I think that's what Paul likes about him. Such a big presence, him and Ochoa up there. Big horses, tough to deal with for any back four. But they need to figure out a way to be effective going forward. You can use your physicality as much as you want, but when it comes down to technique, you got to figure out a way to get the ball on target, back in the net.
Nike, an official sponsor of the Sacramento Republic and the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. A warm night here at kickoff, 96 degrees, one of the highest temperatures we've had here in Sacramento for a match. Atlas FC a few years ago, we remember that one. It was started in the hundreds, and it was a 7 o'clock match.
Pretty sure it's gotten hotter in the last 45 minutes.
You might be right. A muggy night in Sacramento. Where's the Delta breeze when you need it? It was a great night last night. Just the luck of the draw, not what fans and I think these players were hoping for as well. Makes conditions a little bit more difficult. Pachuca showing no signs of weakness, so they've got 2 goals on the night. Guzman and Cano scoring in the first half of play. Here's Harry Williams. Ochoa able to get to it using his size and strength. Ochoa started off the season in that starting 11. A giveaway from Jeremy Hall. To the right side they go. Here's Pachuca looking for a chance. Cano looking for another goal tonight. Tracking back his Horde. Down low it goes. Emra Clementa. At his feet, and Ochoa early on here has been very calm with it, giving Sacramento a chance. Two marks for every time.
Yeah, but look at the break. Look at, you got your front four, and then you got your back six that are just sitting there. It's got to go as a unit, and people got to break if the Republic. If you're going to get a chance to go forward, you need the group to go. You need Jeremy Hall or Harrison Heath to take some chances, or your outside backs to get involved. Just too stagnant trying to go forward. You're not going to get anything out of it if you don't take a couple chances and send some guys forward.
Well, with a lot of different changes in the lineup here, Kevin, there's also an adjustment for these players as well. How do you factor in these guys trying to figure it out against a very pacey and together team here?
Yeah, these guys play together day in and day out. They should be able to figure it out pretty quickly on what's going to happen.
Good combination here from Ochoa, Pacheco.
Excuse me,
it's Cheney and Pachuca not able to get back there, in a clean shot for Christian Cheney.
That ball just caught kind of between Cheney's legs, just isn't able to get a good enough first touch to tee himself up, but still like the effort, like the thought there from Cheney to have a strike. Good combination play through the middle of the field there, and the ball just isn't teed up well enough for Cheney. Caught between his legs, is unable to get a good strike on the ball.
Christian Cheney has an assist on the season. Paul Buckle wants him to get in there and score some goals. Pachuca is being able to own the possession here, in a really bad trip from Gabe Gissy coming, and we might see a yellow card being pulled here. And that is the first yellow card, brought to you by McDonald's tonight. Gabe Gissy started his career with the Republic. 2014, made a couple of appearances, then added 13 in 2015. Went on to Bethlehem Steel in 2016.
Yeah, he needs to use his pace a little bit better there, I think. Gabe Gissy is a little bit too anxious on that tackle. Use your pace, get yourself back, get your shoulders around, work your feet rather than dive in.
Here's Figueroa again, already assist on a set piece earlier tonight. Good slap away from Dominic Jakubek. Crowd looking to get into it here tonight. Sammy Ochoa gambling a little bit, but those are the chances Sacramento might have to take. Aguirre, 20-year-old.
Great turn.
Guzman's been fantastic tonight.
Those little turns, I mean, that's really why the poor giveaways were praising him there. But that turn right there, that's such a quality turn. It's one touch, you're moving forward, it's progressive. Sometimes you'll see guys where they need to control the ball, then make the move. The difference between like the good to great right there is just, it's a fraction, but it's a touch. Progressive, positive touch into space in a good position.
Here's Elliott Horde showing some pace. He's got Gissy off to his right, dump to the right, cleared away by Emmanuel Garcia. Right now, I know a couple other guys have scored for Pachuca, but Emmanuel Garcia might be my man of the match. He's been in the attack. He's gotten back and defended well. Great option for Diego Alonso. Moving forward here as they begin their season. 7 days from now, this is their final stop against this U.S. tour. And a foul is called. They're going to bring out the training staff as Figueroa is down on the turf, rolling around. With our commitment to elevate the experience, Republic FC has added additional amenities at Papa Murphy's Park in addition to live music, free bike valet, and merch specials. You can also take advantage of the $10 20-ounce craft beers before kickoff, additional shade in the market, and more food trucks and arts and games for kids as well. Got face painters out there as well, Kevin, if you're interested. For last-minute decision makers, you also are guaranteed 100 walk-up sales tickets. SacRepublicFC.com is where you can find out more information. So we have a break in play, Kevin. How do you remedy what's happened out here tonight? I mean, this is something where these are tough games, and you're probably not going to see this level of competition for the rest of the season in USL play. So what do you take from matches like this? If you're an individual player, if you're the team collectively?
Well, I mean, you got to look at this and look at what success Pachuca has and how they've had success. And I think it's the quality of the first touch. It's the quickness of play. It's the quickness of thought. You know, what I really look at, what I've seen Pachuca here in the first 60 minutes is just how quickly they move the ball and how well they move together as a unit, as a group when they step. I mean, the list is long, and it's hard to really pick one thing out as you go look at this challenge here. It's hard to pick out that one thing, what really defines and what's made Pachuca successful. It's a long list of small minor details that they do better than Sacramento, whether it's their first touch, whether it's second balls, whether it's 1 and 2 touch passing rather than 3 and 4 touch passing, moving together as a unit, pressing together. I mean, the list is long.
So do you try to emulate that for Sacramento?
You can emulate it. You could also figure out a way where what works for you and your side and what formation you're playing. I think there's a few things that you can probably take away from this, especially as a player, to see also just how well and how quick Pachuca plays and how well they execute technically on things. And it's all these little things, these fine little minor details.
Aguirre lofts it in. A backheel goal. Unbelievable. And Pachuca now makes it 3-0, and it's Francisco Figueroa who gets a backheel, a beautiful cross sent in from the left side of the field. And Jokubek is fooled, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, and Dominic right there is just, he's not even thinking about that backheel coming. Figueroa is just a step ahead, playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, puts that biscuit in the basket, as they say. And a good little goal there, a good cheeky little goal, and you can just see, Dominic's not even thinking about that backheel coming. His hands aren't even down. He's assuming Figueroa's going to go backwards. But Figueroa just is on a different level there thought-wise, and that's what I'm talking about. We were just talking about what can you do differently. I mean, that's the thought process. It's the difference between good and great. It's something as minor as just thinking about something outside the box and being creative and executing it. Figueroa with a wonderful little goal right there. I was going to remember that one.
That could end up on a couple of highlight shows as well. Unbelievable by Tony Francisco. Known Tony for short, but Figueroa with assist and a goal tonight. And that one was a beauty.
That's something fun to watch, really.
3-0, Pachuca. And they have dominated from the get-go here. Sacramento with a brief 10 minutes or so, looking pretty good. Now here's Harrison Heath getting forward. Sacramento's got to take a few more chances here, but we've seen how good Pachuca can be on that counterattack. You're not left with a whole lot of options if you're the Republic.
Just they're moving the ball right now. They're really enjoying themselves, and that's one of the most frustrating things you see as a player in these games if you're Sacramento. You got moving the ball, 1 and 2 touch, ping, ping, ping. Chasing Sacramento is. That's where Kevin Goldthwait goes for the old kick to the shin pretty soon here in frustration, if I was out there, to be honest.
And Pachuca looking for a spark on their end as they begin the Apertura, as the Tigres won the Apertura last fall, and then Chivas able to win the Clausura for the 12th time a couple of weeks ago. And so Pachuca ended up 10th in the last round of play. That was very disappointing half of the season for them. They're looking to get back on track. I'll tell you what, Kevin, they look pretty sharp here tonight. And I think we talked about early in the broadcast about the showcasing of Sacramento and measuring up how you compare yourself to some of the top leagues. But also it goes to show you in person, if you're a fan watching tonight, just the level of play at Liga MX plays, where you don't see a lot of it because it's really not broadcast in English like we see some of the EPL and some of the overseas leagues. And you can see the on-the-ball technicalities of these players is really second to none.
Yeah, technical ability. I mean, that's kind of one of the things we talked earlier about, the qualities or the traits of each league, what makes it different, what makes it successful, what makes it not successful. I mean, one of the things that the Mexican league, that the technique across the board is really second to none. You get a lot of Central America players coming up playing in the Liga MX, Colombian players, Argentinian players. And the technique in the league, it's fun to watch. We saw it in that first goal, and really we saw it in the third goal as well. You see some creativity on the third goal, a technique on the first goal with a wonderful strike there by Guzman across his body on the full volley. Tough ball to hit. One of those balls I remember as a player, when I saw that ball coming, or if it's coming to me, I'm typically taking a touch, because I was not known as the most technical player. However, but that's really where the Liga MX really excels, and that's what makes it fun to watch. And the decision-making is just what's fun for me to watch.
Well, another deep cross here, looking on that back post, looking for Cano. Here's a chance again to the right side. High boot here, and a whistle is blown, and a foul will be called against Pachuca here. But Figueroa, Guzman, and Cano have been quite a handful for the midfielder at Hall, really in the back line.
Yeah, and as an average fan, if you're watching this, I mean, it's tough to really see the details of difference of what makes these guys better. But I mean, it's these guys are good players coming out here tonight for Pachuca, playing against a good side too in Sacramento. We have a really strong team. And you just see the difference in level, the difference in possession, how often the ball's been in Pachuca's attacking third compared to how often it's been in Sacramento's attacking third.
Well, and you see a lot of times Liga MX is known for having the ball at their feet quite a bit. Sometimes this team has moved it in a heartbeat. You're seeing it moved on 4 or 5 passes deep into the box.
No, and they're finding the seams, they're finding the gaps really well. And the thing that's really impressive is just any sort of inch that they're given, they take it and they take more. And it's all decision making and execution at that moment, and timing's right. So a good look here as they build up. They're patient with the ball.
Figure it to the left side.
And their decision making is correct. And we talk about that a lot, Rob, when we're calling games for Sacramento's decisions for the players. Are they making the right decisions in certain situations?
Martinez, Guzman just outside. Guzman again, back to Martinez. And they circle it back out. Summer camps are underway and taking place across the region. Include ever the popular Keeper Wars as well for the Sacramento Republic camps. Check out sacrepublicfc.com. Great camps, don't miss them. Great opportunity to get to your youngster learning technical abilities first. And early off here, Guzman sending down a low cross, looking for Cano. Christian finds it at the heels. Crowd's trying to get into it here, trying to pump up the boys here on the pitch here tonight, as it has been all Pachuca since the get-go. 3 goals tonight, an assist and a goal here late for Tony Figueroa. A dazzling back heel to get past Dominic Jakubek. He's starting to move a little bit more forward. Here's German Cano, 29-year-old from Argentina.
For the throw-in. As a defender, I love seeing that, Rob. That was always a comment that I would let that striker know, hey, you should go take that throw-in over there, buddy, because you should put it out for a throw-in.
I think it's a little harder when you're down 3-0.
Yeah, we always had a good laugh in trainings about that when strikers would do it. We make sure defensive unit would let that offensive unit know.
A little off target, you should say. We're back here on the CW31 on Sunday night, a rare Sunday night match here at Papa Murphy's Park. CW31, Seattle Sounders 2, July 23rd, kickoff 8 o'clock. Sacramento moving forward here. Elliot Horde, good move. Steps over, now near the byline, cutting it back. Spacing a little bit off. Harry Williams looking to dink it over the top to Heath. It just can't get something going. It's been the story all night for the Republic.
Yeah, it's just an anemic attack going forward, Sacramento right now. I think if you're a fan of Sacramento, you're definitely seeing a little bit different mentality here going forward for Sacramento. I think they've had a really good run of form the last 6 to 8 weeks. And tonight, just nothing's working for them. They look gassed, not wanting to expend energy going forward because they've been chasing the entire game for the last 67 minutes.
And how quick they continue to go. Figueroa again, masterful here tonight with his left foot. Pachuca continuing to toy with Sacramento here tonight.
See the patience on top of the box.
And a ball sent in, whistle blows as a foul is called against Pachuca, and that's going to give us a chance for a couple more substitutions from Sacramento tonight. And making his season debut, a defender, Peter McGlynn, who started on the injury list to start the season, has worked his way back, and here he is. Peter McGlynn will go in here as soon as the board comes up. We'll see who will be replacing here in a moment. It looks like he'll be retaking out Harrison Heath. So Peter McGlynn from Ireland went to Santa Barbara, 2 years in the Irish Premier League, and then was picked up here by Sacramento to add some defensive help. And it looks like we'll also have Enrique Montano Montano from San Jose State, born in Salinas. So Sacramento nearly changing the entire lineup from the get-go here, giving some new opportunities for players. Kevin, you've got Enrique, and now you've got McGlynn in. In a match like this, how do you make yourself stand out and give Paul Buckle a reason to give you a chance when USL play comes around?
You know, answer the call right now. If you get an opportunity to put yourself or put somebody else in a teammate in a good situation, do it. Make sure you connect your passes, link up early. It's a good link up right there between the two subs, Montano and McGlynn. But you got to come out here and, you know, answer the call.
Here's McGlynn getting an early touch. Second on the night. Chris Christian, steady center back for the Republic. Looking for Ochoa here, just a heavy leg.
It's a good ball. I like that look from Chris Christian. Just probably a little bit heavy of a pass, but still I like that idea to curl it in. Tough ball for Ochoa to deal with. But like I said, I like that idea.
So we'll set the lineup for you. Cheney, Ochoa up top. Gissy, McGlynn, Hall, Williams in the midfield. Horde, Clementa, Christian, Montano. And then Dominic Jakubek, the goalkeeper here in the second half of play. Christian, Hall, and Clementa and Horde, the four who originally started the match. It's a warm night in Sacramento. Started at 96 degrees. The breeze never really picked up. Montano comes over from Louisville City a season ago. Played just 600 minutes for them. Looking for an opportunity here with Sacramento. Here's Cheney, nice combination here. Looking over the top for Harry Williams. Good idea, just didn't work out. Emra Clementa now settling it down. Thought goal. Easy play for Oscar Perez. This is your first Republic match, Kevin. What are you thinking here? I mean, this is tough. I mean, you got to realize Pachuca's the CONCACAF champions here and one of the better teams in North America.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully if you're coming out here as your first match, that's what you're thinking about. You're coming out and seeing a good side in Pachuca. I mean, just talk about their payroll. Their payroll is probably north of 20, 30 million bucks. So, you know, compare that to what Sacramento's doing. I mean, it's simple economics, really. But still, if this is your first match, I mean, come out here, enjoy the atmosphere, you know, enjoy the quality that you're playing against, and also see some of, you know, you've got Hodigan coming and making his debut. So there's a lot of fun things happening here tonight.
I get a chance to ask you, how do you think Hadigan did in his first 45?
You know, left a little bit to be desired, if I'm being completely honest. Like to have seen him connect more, but then again, I don't think anybody in Sacramento's front four impressed whatsoever. So, I mean, kind of a product of the night, to be honest. So unlucky for him on his debut. You know, it wasn't a dream debut scoring a goal or anything like that, but still I think there's some flashes there where I saw what I liked. I liked his aggressiveness. I liked that he didn't back down from those challenges as a young 16-year-old. I think that's easy for players to do. But like to see him try to connect. I'd like to see him try to play with Danny Barrera, to be honest, to see what kind of combination play he can get between him.
Ball lofted high, easy for Dominic Jakubek. And how about a debut? You're not only making a debut in the USL, and a little, I mean, talk about going from the academy to the Liga MX here.
Oh, it's a huge jump. Massive jump.
It's not like JV to varsity here. It's like JV to college. To the right side, here's Gabe Gissy now. Gabe Gissy sending it back to McGlynn. McGlynn moving forward now. McGlynn trying to create some space. Low ball sent in, easy for Oscar Perez. CW31, home to the one most fun and informative shows on television. It's Good Day Sacramento. When you need news, traffic, and weather, but you also want to hear about that dog competition going on, they have you covered Monday through the weekend. Good Day Sacramento, kicking things off 4:30 Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. $70 minutes has change gone by here at Papa Murphy's Park alongside Kevin Goldthwait and Rob McAllister. We appreciate you joining us for this one. International friendly, Pachuca from Liga MX and the Republic from the USL. And this is the 12th time Sacramento has hosted a friendly or taken part in one, I should say. Enrique Montano, 23 years of age. Along that left back coming in for James Kiffey a couple of moments ago. Peter McGlynn doing a nice job getting forward. Setting this one up over the top. Weighted perfectly. Montano able to get to it near the byline. Going against Martinez. Cuts it back in. Trying to poke it through, looking for Ochoa and making a run. And it was just a little bit off target.
I like that ball from McGlynn, kind of back against the run of play as things are forcing out towards the right. Just kind of cuts it across everybody and got Montano over there doing combining nicely with McGlynn. Just can't get his cross off. I think he probably had Harry Williams right there. Let's talk about decision making. I think there's a good look or a good example of decision making there for Sacramento in that final third, not necessarily being there for him. But nonetheless, I think good build up for Sacramento and a good run, good moment there. Would like to be seen a little bit better there on that final third of that final pass.
Oscar Murillo, the center back position tonight, has been very good. That left side has been able to shut down any Republic attack from that right side. They really like to work that channel, and with Trevin Caesar not in this match, it's been a tough go for Republic strikers to get behind that back line. Good switch here. Dave Gissy able to get to it. Gissy. And a foul is called.
It's a good foul.
And we might see a booking here. We do. Another McDonald's yellow card comes out here tonight. And that goes against Emmanuel Garcia. Gabe Gissy knew right away.
Yeah, battling Gabe Gissy right there. It's a good job by Gissy. Silly giveaway.
Here's another chance for Pachuca. Cutting it back. Good chance for Cano.
It's one pass too many right there for Pachuca. We talked about decision making. That's a poor decision in my mind. There's another poor decision. Just got to link up with your players better. You got Ochoa check into the ball. And maybe Chris Christian probably needs to be making a run in that channel as well, but wasn't happening. Another giveaway by Sacramento.
It's been the case tonight. Pachuca has made any mistake seem a lot worse than you typically might see in USL play. And that has been the difference here tonight. The aggressive, fast-paced Pachuca. Tuzos have put 3 on the board. Guzman striking first out of a set piece from Figueroa. And then Cano able to get there from Segal. And then a back heel beauty from Figueroa. To the right side, Martinez. Back post cross. Here's Lopez. Lopez a little bit quiet, but he's been more of a defensive mid here tonight. Cutting in, looking for some space in the box. Pachuca not quite done yet. Figueroa, so good on the ball here tonight. He's able to create space when it seems like there's not much left. And Pachuca, one of those clubs we talked about their success. And they're looking for their 7th league title here. You got to be feeling pretty good after that CONCACAF championship. Quick touch. Working inside again. And they're just playing with it now.
Patience. That's what we always talk about too. This is a good example of a team being patient, just working side to side, just looking for the weakness, looking for the gap, and not forcing things. You know, eventually, if you're just persistent enough in this situation, there's going to be a gap or a seam that's opened up. So
good,
look right
strong
there.
strike, and it misses wide as a build-up comes. And Kevin, I know there's a lot of opportunities where players feel like they've got to make that one, but there's always that better pass that might get you a better look at goal, and you've seen it from Pachuca here tonight. We'll enter to win 4 tickets to you and your coworkers can sit in one of our hospitality areas. Total of 10 companies will win tickets to SRFC versus Seattle Sounders 2 on July 23rd. Enter online, Sac Republic FC, if you want to take some of your coworkers with you. That one's cleared away by Murillo. Rio making 53 appearances with Pachuca over the last season and a half. Big story tonight. Roberto Hadigan making his debut, but he subbed off at the break. Republic looking for just an opportunity. Some space. Williams is going to give it a go. Bounces off of Perez. No follow-up. And a good-looking strike from Harry Williams there.
Good look. I like the decision right there. I like the technique. Would have taken something really special, but still something to get the crowd into it a little bit. Seeing Sacramento put something on target. Challenge Perez tonight. Really the first time we've really seen Sacramento challenge him today.
Just to give you an idea, Kevin, Oscar Perez began his career in 1993 and has played more than 400 appearances for Cruz Azul before moving on. He's played more than 1,000 matches.
It's an incredible, incredible number. And you look at him, you know, doesn't necessarily look like your prototypical goalkeeper. A little bit shorter, a little bit stockier, but finds a way to make saves. Kind of a shot stopper type goalkeeper. And the longevity right there is absolutely
oldest player
unreal.
in the Liga MX.
Unreal. The numbers.
He's technically still on loan from Cruz Azul, but he's been sent out over the years, and he is a hero. I mean, anywhere he goes in Oklahoma City, they had him, didn't even show in that game, and he had fans swarming him, taking selfies, taking pictures, trying to get autographs. I mean, the guy is a superstar, and even walking in here today, they're all screaming his name, Oscar, Oscar, trying to get his attention. How about that? Be 44 years old and you're still playing, Kevin. I mean, that's testament to him.
Same thing happens to you, though, when you're coming in the...
it's exactly the same, so it's tough. It's a tough life. Cut it back here. Look at chance for McGlynn, trying to find Harry Williams, cleared away.
Tell you what, McGlynn's look actually pretty decent. This is our first real look at him in a match.
And I like what we're seeing.
I think he's done a pretty good job. He's been effective here in his first 5-10 minutes since he's been in, connected on a few passes. Some good decisions, great weight on that pass right there, just
Here's
offside.
Gabe Gissy offside, and Cheney was there. Ball goes in, couple people will cheer, but it won't count.
And that's Cheney right there. You see the reaction. I like that from Cheney. He wants that goal. He wants his first goal here tonight to get things going right there. It's just offside by Gissy. And you like to see Gissy probably hold that run a little bit and be a little bit smarter as he's looking across that line and sees everyone and knows the timing. Just needs to be a little bit better.
Well, and a lot of these friendlies, Kevin, as you know, they're said to come in, and it's really just a bus tour, plane tour, whatever you want to call it, and to showcase the team, spread some news. But you see Diego Alonso now, they're getting ready for their season. This is not a typical, we're just going to play a bunch of people and see how it goes. He's got 11 out here that he wants to get ready for 7 days from now.
This is preseason, and season's coming soon, though. So this is like your squad where you're starting to, you know, put your final touches, iron things out. Heavy touch there.
So while Sacramento has made 6 substitutions, and here's Christian Cheney, he wants it bad. Dump it off to the right side to Horde. Horde will circle it back to McGlynn. A lot of these friendlies we've seen a lot of changes. Here's a hard ball set from Sammy Ochoa. Williams not there to make the run.
It's a good ball. It's just that, you know, the belief isn't there by that front four for Sacramento. You want to see guys believe that service is going to come. It's tough to do here in the 82nd minute, but still, Harry Williams just a little bit late on that back post.
And we've seen a lot of teams come in here. They flip-flop the whole 11 as soon as the break. This has not been the case here. We might see a substitution finally coming in for Luis Gonzalez might make an appearance here for Pachuca, but this is a little bit different from what we've seen from typical friendlies in Sacramento.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is them getting ready for their season. These are great games for them, for teams like Pachuca and clubs in these situations to come out. You get a meaningful game, a meaningful preseason game in front of an audience. I mean, these for clubs like Pachuca, or even like if Sacramento is in this situation, if you're able to kind of create this atmosphere and this energy in a preseason game, it's a really, really good thing.
We want every fan in every seat to have a voice in the club's future and new MLS stadium. It's why Sac Republic launched the Bring It Home campaign. We'll be hosting a series of town halls to review more dates. Here's Harry Williams now. Go to sacrepublicfc.com on Monday night. Make sure you check that out. Two players colliding, foul on Harry Williams. Pachuca goal kick coming up. So it's Luis Gonzalez will check into the match here. First substitution for Pachuca tonight. Midfielder just 20 years of age from Mexico. And it'll also be Eric Sanchez. So Tony Figueroa's night is over, as Figueroa had a fantastic 83 minutes of play here tonight. And Angelo Segal, his night is over as well.
Fun watching Figueroa out there today.
That back heel goal was brilliant.
Cheeky, Rob.
Cheeky is a good word for that. Jeremy Hall. Let's see if the Republic could get one on the board here tonight. Gabe Gissy. First heavy touch for him has plagued him all night.
Yeah, he's got that pace, though. You know, and we talk about that all the time, or I talk about it at least all the time with him, where he's got to figure out a way to harness it a little bit. Make sure that first touch is kind of a little bit more controlled.
This will be the first corner kick for Sacramento tonight. 85th minute.
Taking a while.
I don't know if we've ever seen that. Chick-fil-A corner kick. Tower Bridge Battalion still into it here, trying to rally their boys in Old Glory Red here. Jeremy Hall, low cross. Ball sent in, not high enough, as Emra Clemente wanted it to that back post. Here's Luis Gonzalez showing his pace. Oh my. He's looking for a spot in that starting 11, even if he's only played 10 minutes tonight. And a big shove from Emra Clemente. And Joaquin Martinez is not going to use the help up. And here's Joseph Dickerson giving a stern talking to Emra Clemente, but you probably see Emra just a little frustrated here. Easy call there. Tuzos fans trying to rally their side of support here. A lot of the Pachuca flags still waving proudly here. State Fair going on behind us as well. A couple of weeks of carnival games, food, the whole bit. Got a bigger wine garden here this year as well. Guzman trying to get to it. Montano able to keep it along the byline. Dangerous ball out. And the whistle blows foul against Pachuca. Just a reminder, if you buy a ticket to Republic match, you also get in the fair as well. Not a bad deal.
Great deal. Check out the State Fair, eat your fried food.
Yeah, we didn't get a single hot dog, funnel cake. We didn't get anything here tonight. Joaquin Martinez here, shaggy as he is known due to his hair. Switch to the right side. So Kevin, with the USL season, second half of it anyway, about to get going here next Sunday for Sacramento. What would you like to see out of this team? I mean, you've had a pretty good run of form, scoring goals. They've been able to connect. I mean, now you've got some things to worry about, though. You got Danny Barrera out. Got some changes making. You might have Augustin Caceres out for another week.
I mean, I think first and foremost, you need to someone needs to figure out a way to fill the shoes of Danny Barrera, but also they need to start creating momentum. I mean, we're coming down here to the crunch time. We keep talking about this, to the run of form, to build up.
Ball sent in, bobbled around. Out of play, and another corner kick coming up for Pachuca.
The build up to playoffs. I mean, now, we're really coming to that point where points are going to be at a premium, and you got to get yourself in a position to hopefully have a home game, at least one home game in the playoffs, and then momentum kind of build up into that. So I want to see these guys, see someone fill those shoes of Danny Barrera.
Here's Sanchez, sends a low cross in, still a chance, staying up on his feet as the fireworks go off. Out comes Dominic Djokovic, punch it away. Christian Chaney pushing forward, looking for Ochoa. Ochoa with a big swing at it. And working it around. Here's German Cano. So for the fans who stay, they're getting a fireworks show just beyond the east stands. Aguirre walking up to the right side. Guzman looking for a second goal tonight. Pauses. And back out again. Looking for a quick combination here. Playing keep away from the Republic here in the final moments. Just so good on the ball here in the attacking third. Good curling ball in over the post.
It's a good stride. Almost picked out that top corner.
Get a fireworks show at least.
Some fireworks for the night, I guess.
Or Pachuca's here, a Pachuca fan. You've seen a lot. I don't think I've ever seen this soccer match with fireworks going off in the background.
Yeah, I think some timing issues might have happened here.
This went a little bit later. Fireworks start at 10, and we're past the 10 o'clock hour here. Sacramento, can they sneak one here in the final moments of play? But you're right, you're talking about the points being at a premium. And Sacramento, in the next 3 weeks, they're playing teams below them. You pick up 9 points, you're probably right back in the top 3.
Yeah, even that, you're positioning yourself for the end of August to come and start of September to come in a good situation where you can kind of control your own destiny, and that's all you can ask for.
And how critical would it be to get a home match here? Now, Sacramento has not been overly successful at home in the playoffs, except for that run in 2014. Well, that'll come to an end here. Pachuca, Sacramento. The Republic fall 3-0 in a tough match against one of the top teams in Liga MX. A club from Mexico comes up here to the capital of California, and they really made it known who the better club was here tonight. And you got to give the Tuzos a lot of credit, Kevin. They came in here and they were ready to go, came out on their toes, and were able to put up a couple of goals. We'll have your full-time highlights and stats as well. Don't go anywhere. Post-game shows coming up right here on the CW 31.
Murphy's Law says you, get what you pay for. Papa Murphy's Law says when a pizza is made right in front of you with ridiculously fresh ingredients, you'll always get more than you pay for. Murphy's Law of questionable quality. Papa Murphy's Law of unquestionable value. Tonight, home bake a large thin crust veggie or thin crust meat. Just $8. Papa Murphy's.
There's a place that brings together teams of world-class problem solvers. Here, they save lives at a moment's notice. Restore sight to those who otherwise would not see. Empower those facing immobility to live active lives. Through teamwork and bold innovation, they confront the toughest medical challenges to make the world a healthier place. UC Davis Health System.
Come on. Come on, Squirt.
Whatever your financial goals are, a U.S. Bank Wealth Management Advisor can help make them a reality. Talk to one today. U.S. Bank, the power of possible.
Hi, I'm Allie from Live 105. Ask me about my Honda. I was a dog walker in San Francisco. Now I am co-host on a morning show. Don't throw me under the bus again.
The go-to excuse for people not showing up on time is car trouble. It's nice to know that Allie can never use that excuse.
When I talk to my friends and family, I always recommend Honda.
Looking for a reliable car to impress all your best friends? Get Allie's story and a rocking deal on the new Civic. at your Northern California Honda dealer's Facebook page.
If you like hot dogs but hamburgers too, Wiener Schnitzel's new burgers are just for you. We've got burgers, 4 different burgers.
We kind of always had them, but they're way better now.
New burgers, new burgers, our new flavors. Our new burgers are made the Wiener Schnitzel way. That means they're good. Wiener Schnitzel's burgers are better than ever. Whether you're craving barbecue bacon or blazing guac, our 4 burgers are a mouthful of yum. Only at Wiener Schnitzel.
Fireworks going off here at Cal Expo to end the night between the Republic and the Tuzos. Pachuca, Sacramento clashing here in an international friendly. It would be the visitors, however, coming away victorious here. Let's take a look at our full-time highlights brought to you by NorCal Honda. And here we go, Kevin. It was a match where Pachuca came out and they were on their front studs. They were aggressive. And they just showed that they were going to take control of this match right away.
Yeah, and a great little first goal. Great ball served in from Garcia, finished off by Guzman. And like we said earlier, just wonderful technique by Guzman. Ball coming across, hits it with his laces, pulls it across the face of Evan Newton. A great little goal.
So first goal coming the 21st minute, and Guzman scoring first. Sacramento started to play better there between the 25 to 35 minute mark. You started to see them getting back into it. They had some chances and they just didn't convert.
Oh yeah, just when I think they started really kind of having a nice little piece of run of play for the 15-10 minutes before. So quick counterattack by Pachuca. Cano combining nicely with Segal, putting the ball in the back of the net, kind of coming once again right across the face of Evan Newton, hits the post off into the goal. A great little piece of work by Pachuca and a quick counterattack. You know, it's 5 seconds after we start talking how well Sacramento's doing, all of a sudden, quickly, things change, get turned on its head. And it's at halftime, go down 2-0.
Change in a heartbeat just like that. So they go to the locker room down 2-0, and then come out of the break, and then Sacramento felt like, okay, you're having some substitutions here. You had Ochoa, you have Cheney go in. So try to change things up. You have Williams, had against Knight is over, and really it's more the same. Early on, you saw Williams able to break free a little bit. He's not able to get things going, and then the beautiful back heel from Figueroa adding to his night a goal and assist. Just a beautiful performance.
Yeah, Figueroa right there, just absolutely playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. On his front studs, thinking ahead, thinking outside the box, and is able to just a quick little back heel past Dominic Jakubek. But still, I think, you know, second half was a little bit better for Sacramento. Saw a little bit more run of form, got a couple shots. Harry Williams had a nice strike on target. Really was the only time, the only test that Perez was faced with all game. And a good effort by Pachuca, and you just see the quality from that side. We talked at the beginning of the game, you know, you come out here, you're seeing a world-class opponent and a great league and one of the best leagues in the world, Liga MX. We saw it tonight.
And a beautiful win for Pachuca as they get ready for their season to start here in about a week. Let's look at our Papa Murphy's man of the match. And Kevin, I think for Pachuca, I would think we'd go Tony Figueroa, but for Sacramento, who are you going with?
Christian.
Played well tonight.
Played well. I think, you know, it's one of those nights where there wasn't too much firepower going forward. But I think Chris just played a steady, solid game all night tonight. Combined well on some entry passes, defended well, won his 50-50 challenges. Good effort tonight by Christian.
Let's take a look at our Zoom image of the match. And a beautiful shot of the State Fair in the background. And I don't know if you can see it in that shot, but just to the right of that is actually a bungee jump station. Are you going to do that next weekend?
No.
Gonna stay away from that. I think I'll stay away from that too. That's not my deal. Maybe the Ferris will be a little bit more of our jam. But that is a next match Sunday night. Yes, Sunday night, prime time, 8 p.m. as USL resumes for the Republic. Sounders 2, who they've had great success against in the past. That will be right back on the CW31. Great night here, international friendly. Didn't go the result the Republic were seeking. They lose this one 3-0. They want to take our entire crew. For Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you in 8 days right back here in the CW31.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.